As we begin our look at organizational behavior, I think we need to introduce some definitions to create a framework from which we will operate this course. So let's start out with what is management and what is a manager? If we keep going, we discussed why OB was important in the last video. It's core of being effective at work. It helps you as an individual to become a more effective employee and a better manager, and they benefit as a whole from a morale standpoint and an effectiveness, but it also helps the organization perform well. In other words, make more money. So let's look at what management is. There's a couple definitions. I don't want to get too in-depth on these at this point because we're going to actually go through some of these, but essentially managerial work is a process. It's a series of action and brings about a goal. Okay? It can also be defined as the organization and coordination of activities of a business to achieve set objectives. Management is incorporated as a factor of production together with materials, machines, and money. Harold Kuntz says management is the art of getting things done through and with people formally in organized groups. Mary Parker Follett has it even simpler. She's cut part of it off, and I think Harold Kuntz built on that, is management is an art of getting things done through people. Now, we talked about the person's situation. So if we look at what managers do, is they have people who they are trying to organize and create a series of actions to bring about this goal, get things done. But they have to deal with the individual from their perspective, but also from the firm's perspective. So the individuals do things, the firm does things, and management is really making sure that the two of them come together. Management is about taking individuals who have a series of attributes, beliefs, attitudes, behaviors, trying to align them with what a company wants to do and the behaviors of the company to produce a result. So it's an art of getting things done because you have to take into account both of them. So if we look purely on the management side, it's a process of designing and maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplishing selected goals. That's what management is. Quality management, and we will hear this terminology, is the system, procedures, methods, and techniques that an organization puts into place to ensure that requirements that are placed upon it are met. That is, what are the requirements of the customer? Okay? So coming back, again, important thing for you to know, there's a distinction between the workers who have a set of personal beliefs, then there's the situation. Management is taking the two and making them work together. Who are managers? Simple. Someone who coordinates and oversees the work of other people so that organizational goals can be accomplished. Now, if we look at the pyramid and we look at them, as there's probably three different levels of managers. There are frontline managers. Those are individuals who manage the work of non-managerial employees. Okay. Then there's the middle managers who manage the work of the frontline managers. And then there's top managers, individuals who are making the whole organization work and establish plans and goals. Okay. So you have this hierarchical role within a company. Every company is different. We're going to look at organizational design as we move forward. But I think just getting some of these out there from a definitional perspective is going to benefit you as you move along. I'm trying to figure out how do I keep things focused and not run too far ahead of myself, but actually create a path for you. If it's not working or if you got questions, do make sure you ask me. Very important. A manager is not necessarily a leader, and a leader is not necessarily a manager. Okay. Leadership focuses on goals. They try to sell it, get people to buy. They take risks. They encourage. They go against the grain. They motivate. They break rules, inspire trust. foster ideas. Management, on the other hand, is focus on tasks. Tell it, minimize risk, go with the flow, approve, follow the rules, expect control, assign tasks. So really, when you put the two of them together, accomplish goal mobilizes, it's really putting them together. So an effective manager can be a leader as long as he is engaging in some of these behaviors. So, but they're not necessarily, these are about the individual and the how. Okay? So they come together to do the same thing. But important to note that we're going to have a whole section on leadership as we go. Managers use 4 types of resources: human resources, financial resources, physical resources, and information. Now, information is knowledge of the workers, information, how to do something, where things are coming from. So these are the 4 types of resources that a manager has to use. Now, there are some very generic, if you will, functions of a manager. These are things managers do, and to some degree, a manager who may be a leader does the same things. It just, they may do them in a very different way. Planning, analyzing information, setting goals. Organizing the work, the process, okay, how things are done, organizing that to ensure that the goals that have been set in the planning process are met. Staffing, obtaining, preparing, and compensating employees. Implementing, direct it, controlling, make sure that it's done. So these are the 5 basic functions of a manager. Remember, this is introductory to give you a sense of some of the things we're talking about, so that when we go back and look at the history of where OB started and its progression, you will see these functions coming through, and you'll see things, I think, in a better context. And this one is planning and direction are similar, but what to be, when to do, how to do it, who to do it. Management action involves leadership, communication, super. This is the direction. Okay. Organizing. Identify, classify, and assign activities. Delegate authority. Fix responsibility. Coordinate relationships. Manpower planning. Recruitment, selection. Coordinating. Orderly arrangement of groups. Controlling. Establish standards. Measuring actual performance. So these are the things a manager does. And this is part of a process in an organization. And an organization is a collection of processes. Okay? And today, I think there might be a slightly different picture, and that picture is one of a manager who has to develop competence, grow structure, improve everything, energize people, empower teams, and align constraints. So I think as we move forward to a manager today, it develops additional things that need to occur other than those 5 functions that we just talked about. So this gives you a sense of what management is, who is a manager, what does a manager do, and it's going to set the groundwork for us moving forward. It's putting it in context. Please let me know if you get any questions.